Hello, in this video we're going to talk about how to run this script called vectorize PCI matrices position and composition. So this script is meant to work with CSV files that were produced by glycoassessor, and the structure of each CSV file is a data matrix that looks like this. The GitHub repository that houses this script also contains practice files. Here are the 4 input files that you can practice on. Let's preview them. So glycan H1 has 6 layers total from the PCI algorithm. Glycan L1 has 7 layers. N1 has 7 layers. And U1 has 11 layers. So the largest is 11 layers. The smallest is 6 layers. All you have to do is copy the file path to this folder. And then you go to the script. And first you have to load the dependencies if you haven't, and you must install any libraries that are missing. And all you have to do is paste in the folder path right here. So let me do that. And then you run this cell, and it prints out the contents of the folder. You can ignore any invisible files that begin with a period. The script will ignore it too. Next, all you have to do is run this cell. And if there's no error message down here, then it worked. You know it worked because when you go back to your input folder, there's a new file here called vectorized PCI matrices. And if you open it up, your 4 glycans have now been vectorized into one column, and the script also provides the name of each row that allows you to track the original locations of where each cell came from in their original matrix form. And this is the file that you would load into a script to do principal component analysis on. Let's talk about how to interpret these row names. So here, the column from script is what the script we just ran outputted. Manual means I manually vectorized it, and I did this to make sure that the script was working correctly. Here were the 4 original glycan matrices from the PCI algorithm. Glycoassessor creates them as individual files. I just pasted them all in here for convenience. But these are the 4 glycans that were vectorized into these columns. So L1 NMT means that this value is from layer 1 and the column called NMT, right, for U1. So glycan U1, right here it is, glycan U1. So layer 1, column NMT has a value of 1. You see that? So it's layer 1, column called NMT has a value of 1. Therefore, this has a value of 1 also. It's the same cell. Down here, say, if we go to L5 NEL, means that this cell came from U1, layer 5, column NEL, and the number is 4. So here's layer 5, column NEL, right here. The value is indeed 4. See that? So that's how you interpret the row names column. These will be important when you do principal component analysis and you create what's called the loading plot, which tells you which feature has the most influence on the variance of each principal component. At that point, you will thank us for having thought out that far to provide the exact row names of every single feature. I want to point out that this script creates a new file that has a generic name. I recommend that you change the generic name right away to something like experiment1_, because if you were to run this again, well, you should remove this file before you run it again, but the script creates a file with this generic name, and it will replace any file, any CSV file that has the same name. Every time the script runs, it creates a file with this exact same name. Therefore, it replaces the old file. So I just want to point out that since this is a generically named file, it's highly recommended that you rename it right away.